This is the Leo Climaco podcast.
How'd you get the financing?
So to finance, our parents would tell us, you got to be a doctor, you got to be a lawyer, you got to be a doctor, you got to be a lawyer. And then a lot of the people that I knew, they were going to finance. I'm like, you know what?
Right.
I'm not going to be a doctor or a lawyer. I'm just going to go to finance. Because finance is more closer to being like business stuff.
For sure. It's the money.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go to finance. And I started going to school in finance. And my second year of college, I actually got a job on Wall Street for an insurance company.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which one?
Health First. It's called Health First.
I know Health First.
You might know them. Yeah.
I've heard of it, yeah.
And I actually came to the interview, and the boss liked the fact that I'm a master in Microsoft Excel. And he's a master in Microsoft Excel, so he hired me. And we're doing some good things over there. We had a lot of sales reps going out, doing all the business. We had the BlackBerries back then.
Yep.
They were putting in, all the data, and we would just like analyze it, create all these different reports, create forecasts and things like that. So it was a good time.
What do you like about financing?
Because
Because I fucking can't stand it. It doesn't match with me at all.
The thing is that it's a very, 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 very broad term. There's a lot of shit like going on.
Right.
But today, we've been serving a lot of marketing agencies in the pharmaceutical space, and we've been working a lot with fractional CFOs and accountants, and we've been helping them. So finance is actually just helping people get to a better place, leading them to get to a better place. That's because it could be finance of technology, it could be finance of studios, it could be finance like anything. It's translating things into stories. Okay, any number inside your business, any number inside my business, any number inside anybody else's business has to do with a system, a person, a system, or a process. Doesn't matter. Okay, we can connect it.
Right.
Okay, and that's where we can actually tell stories and actually lead people and companies. And again, it's not just about the business. It's actually about this person's, because humans run companies.
Right.
And
their dreams and what they want to accomplish,
Yeah.
and investments.
in today's day and age, everyone thinks it's like, oh, we're going to help your business grow. We're going to help your business grow. But in reality, you're helping people grow.
Right.
Because somebody's behind that company. There's a family.
I love that.
There's a family behind the company. There's children behind those companies.
Right.
And what we're trying to do is just help them get to a better place. I mean, it's never going to be perfect, but we're trying to help them get to a better place. And again, it's not just about the money, right? It's about other areas of life that money affects.
Right.
Right.
Retirement.
Kids, their
college,
body, their
right.
children, their relationships,
Yeah.
their being. I don't care what. Money affects all of that.
Right. It's a tool.
It's a tool. So helping them get to a better place. I mean, again, when I used to work in corporate, it was all about, okay, let's get this shit done. But now I understand that there's real people behind all these things.
Yeah.
And that's where we have to connect money to. And once we're able to do that, we can change the world.
I also worked corporate America. I have an IT background.
Yeah.
I did IT directing for a very long time. What's the benefit, do you think, of working in corporate America? Because I think everyone should, at least for a couple of years, do corporate America.
Corporate America taught me a lot of shit. Well, first of all, I thought that wasn't going to be my life.
Me too.
I started working really early. Again, my sophomore year of college, I got a job on Wall Street. I'm like, holy shit. I would come in a suit to Wall Street, and I'm like, holy shit, this is the life. I see all these other guys in suits, I'm like, wow. And at the time, that job was I was making like $50K, $50,000. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm probably doing better than a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
In sophomore year.
And you were.
Yeah, and I would come out at lunch. It was such an empowering moment. You would come out, it's like all these people, all these big shots walking around.
Yep.
I would go to lunch, and then I started kind of growing a little bit, in different positions. And I was actually going to school at the same time. So Pace University downtown is
it's
down
right
the street
there
from Wall Street. Yeah. And
Is that Battery Park? It's by Battery Park, right?
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it taught me a great deal of. Here's the thing. I was making money and I was spending money left and right at that time.
Of course.
You know, girls, this, that, going out all the time, partying. But at the same time, it taught me fucking work ethic because I would pull all-nighters. Sometimes the bosses would come in like, "What the fuck are you doing here so early?" I'm like,
I never left.
I never left here because I was creating all these financial models. Like I was just experimenting with everything. Locked in, experimenting, and at the same time, you know, sometimes we would go out and I would just come to work straight from the party.
Right.
You know, but definitely work ethic because I thought that this is going to be my thing for the rest of my life, and I'm like, you know what, I got to get this thing down. And you know, bunch of relationships that I built over there. And I think it gave me just a big kick in the ass that, you know, I got to work.
Yeah.
I got to work. And I think this is where I think my identity changed also. Like who I am, who I saw myself as. Because again, I'm walking out on Wall Street and I'm just in this suit. Although I wasn't making all this money, but the identity of like me being that person.
Right.
And, you know, my bosses, you know, I saw the salaries that they were making, you know, 500,000, 600,000. I'm like, holy shit, this is me soon. This is me soon, you know? And that's where
you were on that ladder.
That's where I began that ladder. And I'm like, I'm going to go there. And I'm like, I got to finish school faster and I'm just going to keep growing. Either it's going to be this company or another company.
Right.
So you know, I started switching companies, going to banks, investment banks. And, but yeah, so that's the.
So tell me the day that you told yourself, I've had enough. No more corporate America. I'm going to go do my own thing. I'm going to go pursue my entrepreneur dream. I'm going to take the risk and I'm going to go for it. What was that day like?
So just a little preface around that. I mean, I got laid off once. I had a layoff. And, you know, I was pretty experienced. I was already VP of finance and I got laid off. And, you know, I started looking for more jobs. I'm like, you know, just like the regular thing. And what happened was...
When was this?
This was around 2011.
Okay.
This is my first layoff in 2011. And I started looking for all these different jobs again. And I'm like, holy shit, you know, usually I would get like one interview a month. Like I would go out to one interview a month. And now I started getting these less interviews. Or if I would come to interviews, they started this whole thing of like 4 or 5 interviews, like instead of one.
I remember those. Yes.
You know, and the reason being, like, they started adding HR, they started adding all these different fucking departments.
So fucking annoying.
It's annoying. Like you have to go through like these 4 or 5 interviews, and some young HR dude or gal that didn't know what the fuck she was doing, or him, they don't know what they were doing. Like they were like 26 years old, and they're telling me I'm either overqualified or I'm underqualified. I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
You know, like what's going on? So I just started going around. I went on LinkedIn, and you know, LinkedIn started to come about, and I'm like, I started looking for these managers. You know, started getting my ways around.
Right.
Got you know, changed a few more companies, and then my second layoff was at the end of 2015.
Okay.
And this is where I'm like, shit. And this is like a lot of entrepreneurs started to come about, like during those, I think between like 2012 and 2016 or something. Like a lot of people started. And I started getting targeted a lot online. You know, grow your own financial planning firm, grow your own accounting firm. So I registered a company, and I'm like, but I still haven't gotten any clients actually at all.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? And I had like, probably 250,000 in the bank saved. And I started getting targeted with all these coaches, consultants calling me. And I'm like, you know what?
I can help you. I can turn your business
online. I can help you, LinkedIn,
profitable.
Facebook, this and that. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to go back to work anymore. I'm just going to grow my own thing. Because I see other people doing it.
Smart.
And at that time, Andrew Argue, that's his name. He's the one that his company got me into this whole accounting thing, growing your own accounting firm, growing your own financial planning firm in 2016. So that's when I said to myself, I'm just going to do it. And the thing is that I had all this money, and all these coaches are calling me, like, I don't have any fucking money. Like, because my mindset is fucking broken. But not broken, I just didn't know.
It's a great mindset.
You know? And
I wish I had that mindset.
I didn't have the money. I don't have the money, so I went to travel. I traveled for like 5-6 months, spent money on anything and everything.
Where'd you go?
Europe, all over the place, man. Spend money on shit I never wanted, shit I never needed, and just came back. Just spent all the fucking money. I literally spent all the money. I think I had like 13 or 14,000 left or something.
Wow.
So I came back. I got I have the car, I have the apartment. I got to eat. I got to do my shit, and like I got to do something.
That's all you blew $250,000.
I just blew all the money. Like literally.
Fuck it. Let's go live.
Yeah. And this is the thing. When I came back, I had this like little depression kind of thing going on inside me.
I bet.
And I had my apartment in New York. I started going to my parents' house. It was fucking cold. I remember, like winter. I'm like, and I can't even tell my parents. Like they kind of knew, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, holy shit, something's going on. So, I have to do something. And I think I was down to like the last 10,000. And there was a program I invested into. It's $36,000 program. The most So when I had all the money, I didn't invest $4, $5, $6 to $10,000. But now I'm like, you know what? I have nothing else to lose.
Right.
So I'm just gonna put a down payment on this thing. I think I put like a $6,000 down payment for another like $2,000 from a credit card, and I just went all in. I just went all in. I started working my ass off, and that's when like LinkedIn and Facebook messaging, like we can just message a bunch of people and just get phone calls all fucking day. Like
I remember that.
yeah. And we started getting a lot of appointments, and that first year we did like 400,000 almost. So yeah,
Never looked back.
yeah, I never looked back, and ever since I tasted that little entrepreneurial journey, I'm like, shit, I'm unemployable now. It's not gonna happen anymore. I'm not going back.